Hey guys, we are live in here with front-end developer Ali and Alex, who is the wow, I had a brain fart there. Brand manager for Hangar 9. And then we have the Viking, of course, 120cc standing behind him. So I want to turn it over to the two.
All right, so good morning, everyone. So you guys are aware we had a Hangar 9 Beast 100cc for a few years now. So we decided to give it a little new look and a different design and trim scheme. So Ali here took the Hangar 9 Beast and put a different scheme and did a whole bunch of changes to it. So Ali, tell us about it.
Yeah, thanks Alex. This is actually a project I took over from Dave Payne, and Dave took it over from Kike when he left. It was the Beast in original basis. As Alex said, we've refreshed it, updated it, and made it the Viking. Basically like the full size, based on the BITS S12 platform. The Viking is currently flying the airshow circuit in Europe, heavily modified BITS S12 by Kimball down in Florida. We actually sponsor the full-scale Viking, so we have quite a good tie to it. We have very good connections with Jakob, who's the owner and pilot of the Viking, so we had great reference. A lot of changes over the Beast. It may look like we just put a different colour scheme on it, but there's quite a few changes, up to about 32 if I remember rightly when I went through the snag list. Starting off with wingtip shape, the Beast had a more swept wingtip, whereas the Viking square. Tail shape is different between the two aeroplanes. The strut shape is completely different. We've tried to make a more scale-looking interplane strut rather than the flat panelled struts on the Beast. Starting at the front, same sort of obviously fuselage, same 125cc capability. The pipe tunnel inside has been modified to make it more noise sensitive friendly, if you like. For fields which have noise issues, you can happily fit tube pipes or mufflers into this aeroplane without any modification. Increased strength servo box for the throttle servos, a little bit of movement in that. Made it so that the wings now are removable without having to remove any hatches. One of the bits of feedback we got from a lot of our customers who looked at the Beast was they found rigging it in the field a little bit complex because you had to take off two hatches to get to the wing bolts. That's no longer the case. The wings would literally bolt on, 2 bolts at the top, 2 bolts at the bottom, so it's a lot quicker to assemble. Extension lead routes are actually fitted by the factory now, as opposed to the Beast where the customer had to put those in. Strings put into the wings so that you can feed the servo wires through. Switch placement on the Beast, that was down to the customer. I've now put a Viking to multiple switch locations on the fuselage side, so you can fit your ignition or receiver switches without having to hack the fuselage sides about. And just a bunch of those really, a bunch of little hardware improvements, just making it a little bit quicker, easier to build, easier to handle. Flight-wise, it retains pretty much all of the same aerobatic capabilities as a Beast. Hopefully you guys will get to look at the video that we posted online. We're very fortunate. We have an extremely talented young 3D pilot called Jojo. He came up from Florida. He's a team member and did the 3D aspect of the Beast video, and it shows how capable the airplane is. Biplanes are incredibly strong compared to a monoplane, rigid with the interplane struts and the cabane struts, so it's capable of doing some really heavy, hardcore 3D. The thing that sets this plane apart from any other biplane I've flown is the fact that it will also do the precision work as well. Thin section, cheated tailplane position from the full scale, so there's less coupling. Basically means you get a very precise, fluid, smooth, point-to-point airplane. So if you're not interested or more focused to the precision or sports flying side of things, this is ideal. It's something that everyone can fly. And on that note, the colour scheme, it's such a big difference to the Beast in the air. I know that a lot of people like the classic red and the black, but again, we did get feedback about it was quite difficult to see in certain lights and difficult to maintain in hot, sunny weather. The Viking yellow and blue just pops. Again, the video will show it, but having done all the flight development testing on this, the first thing that became apparent to me and everyone else that saw it was the colour scheme just stands out. So I think that makes a big difference.
So we talked a little bit about the engine size. What about servos and receiver? What are you running with servos and receiver?
They're all standard size servos, high torque metal gear. So the Spectrum 60-65s are a good choice. Anything with around about 7 kilos or more per surface would be ideal. The rudder is the only one that I'd go for a really heavy duty servo on. something like 6280 would be ideal. Single rudder servo mount in the midsection of the fuselage, huge movements on everything. So, like with all of these aerobatic planes, the best servo you can fit will pay dividends. It's an area you don't want to scrimp on. You know, when you've got massive deflections, 45, 55 degrees capable, you want as much servo power. Receiver-wise, again, a whole host of choices. You could Y-lead every surface up and get away with it on 7 channels if you wanted to. I use 9 channels simply because it gives me a bit more flexibility in allocating individual surfaces through the receiver. I also use 9 channels because we do the AR-9350, which for me, in my opinion, is the best receiver unit out there. It's a small 9-channel receiver with the AS3X system built in. So, and that, for me, makes great improvements.
So for the guys that don't know what an ARF, looks like, or how much time does it take to build something like this?
I've built a few of these now, so I can turn one out in about 2 to 3 days of on and off work in between other projects. I would allocate a week of evenings. It's a case of fitting the servos, the control horns are all done, the main structure is obviously all built and covered. It's from the front, engine, fuel tank, servo, receiver, and then assembly.
The pilot included?
No, it's not included. We didn't know whether people would want to choose the pilot or save weight. So it's going to be an optional extra. We're going to have it. This one is just a prototype pilot. So we're going to have this one, but painted in the correct Viking colours available as an option. Same with the spinner. This is a 6-inch true turn aluminium spinner, huge spinner, which is closer to scale to real Viking spinner. So that's going to be available as an option as well.
Travis, do we have any questions, comments so far? Or?
Not yet, anyway. I guess we can do a little walk around of it, I suppose.
When is it going to be available?
They are shipping this week, so we are looking for installs around about November, I believe.
And what's the price of it? What's going to be the price?
I'll have to look at the cheat sheet on that one. It is $1,399.
Good value for the plane you're getting. So
It's a big airplane, and that's one of the things that a lot of people comment on is how well it presents in the sky, because of obviously it's a biplane. It's quite dumpy. It's visually it looks a lot more appealing than the standard monoplane extras and so forth for some people. So yeah, it stays big.
all the hardware package, all the red horns.
Yeah, control horns are included. The screws are going to be changed. These are the development screws. They're going to be a really nice domed stainless steel screw. All heavy duty push rods, the closed loop wire, tail brace wires, which are really important, and they stiffen up that back end a hell of a lot. They come fitted. I've convinced the factory to actually supply some spares, so if you mess up, you don't have to go to the hobby shop and go and get some more. They'll come in the kit as spare items.
All right, sounds good.
Rigging it is quite simple. As I said before, you have biplanes can sometimes be a real nightmare to rig, especially with the flying wires. You have 4 screws on the interplane struts. That's then removed, and then you have 2 screws here and here. The whole wing slides off. Underneath, same deal. 2 screws there and there. Wing off.
So it's a 4-channel airplane. What's the can do it DX8, DXI top? Or?
Like I said, it depends how you want to do it. For people who want to do it super simple, the sport flyers, they can Y-lead it together, and you could do it with the DX8, yeah, just
Awesome.
9.
Great. All right, Travis, any other questions, comments coming on?
So engine size recommended, I assume the 120.
Anything from 100cc up to 125cc. I know there are going to be people that are going to try and squeeze 150s in here. What can I say? They're going to do it whether I recommend it or not. It doesn't need it. 120cc is more than enough. Again, the video should show Jojo really putting it through its paces. Big control surface movements, heavy 3D, and it's not loading up. So, yeah, 125 is enough.
All right. I think that's about it. Thank you, Allie, for taking the time to talk about it with us today.
Awesome.
And we'll see
Be
you
out in
guys
about
soon.
4 weeks.
4
Check it
weeks?
out.
Awesome. All right. Well, check out the video on YouTube. And until then, see you next time.
Yes. Bye.